Hi everyone, welcome to Julie's Kitchen. I hope you're going to enjoy our second experience. So I've got a pot here and pop some oil on the base. Try and make it a kind of medium heat when you first pop them in. Okay, now I'm just going to give those a shiggle around in that oil, turn up the heat and pop the lid on. Very important. The best thing to do so this doesn't burn is just keep on shaking it as you hear them pop. Even when you think it's all done, just take it off the heat and let it sit for a little second because you still get exploding popcorn coming out and it can be painful. So you can see them actually kind of flying up against the lid. That's why you need to keep the lid on at all times. This is all popped, so I'm just gonna lift this up and then that will show you all of the kind of amazing popcorn. I'm gonna put that to one side and just let that cool down. Now we're gonna do the flavor for the popcorn, so that is the most exciting part. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of oil. The reason I'm doing that is because we are making a butter, but butter's burning point is a lot lower than oil, so you just don't want the butter to burn. There we go. And I would say just keep that on about a medium heat. You don't need to go too much. I'm gonna add in my spices now. And it's while the butter is still melting on purpose because I want them to get a bit of kind of time to go through that heat. So that's my curry leaves just gone in. Yeah, very fragrant, herby, dried substance that honestly it will make the popcorn taste amazing. There you have it, that glorious kind of orangey stir, which is just gonna coat that popcorn amazingly and be fun. Okay, I'm just gonna flavor this. Try and get as much of that powder in as you can. Start pouring that all over the popcorn. You can see everything kind of turning a lovely golden color from the turmeric and from all the spices. Oh. Okay. And that is the salt and curry leaf popcorn, perfect for snacking whilst you're cooking on everything else. Hope you enjoy it. Got a very fresh number, and this is the crayfish salad. I'm just pairing this up with some prawn crackers as well because I feel like I love the crunch of prawn crackers. And crayfish, again, I feel like it's just one of the most underrated things and it's so delicious with this. Okay, so we've got our noodle dressing here. It's got fish sauce, it's got sesame, it's got palm sugar, herbs through there as well. So it's gonna give you a really, really nice dressing on that. So I'm just gonna pour that all onto the salad just now. Give that a good toss. And again, something that's really fresh. This itself is just so nice and light. Once that's ready, and again, as you can see, it's so easy. I'm just gonna pop that onto these prawn crackers and you're gonna hear that kind of crackle from the sauce going onto them already. And again, I always just try and make sure there's at least one bit of crayfish on each. There we go, you can hear that sizzling up already. Bit of an assembly job, an easy assembly job. Again, I've still got loads of that pot of the crispy shallots and peanuts, so I'm just gonna pop that over the top too for extra crunch. Random herbs in the fridge. I've got some spring onions. You don't have to do this, but if you've got them there, great, go ahead. Okay, I'm happy with that to go. That is the amazing crayfish salad just on top of our prawn crackers, and just have it straight away. Don't leave it to sit. You want to have it vibrant and zingy. So I am moving on to the tamarind pork belly now. I'm just gonna pop the pork in, and you just want it to caramelize a bit until it's got a little bit of color on it, but not till it's kind of burned and crispy. Pop it in, and again, my pan is already hot, so you'll hear it sizzle straight away. As so. And that kind of smokiness coming from the pan is good. You want that for the flavor. You can see all of that kind of like stickiness from the tamarind sauce is gonna, again, caramelize and become really lovely and delicious with all of that. And it's quite nice to get your wok going. You've got all these kind of flavors of Asia. It's exactly how I would cook it again if I was in the restaurant or even if I was over visiting my family. So just flipping over that pork, look at how amazingly well that's caramelized already. So now what I'm gonna do, once I've flipped all of these over and they've got a little bit of char on them, pop in the rest of that sauce and let that all reduce down until we caramelize the other side of the pork belly. Tamarind pork belly is like, it's one of the kind of lesser known dishes, and we tend to do it in the restaurant a lot because it's got that kind of gorgeous umami flavour that you just don't really get from anything else. Tamarind itself is such like a unique flavour, so it's one that I was really excited to introduce into this experience because you don't normally see it on well, it's not normally seen on loads of menus. So that sauce is really caramelizing. The pork belly is kind of melting away within that sauce. Turn off your wok, get your plate ready, and just serve that up immediately. And I'm just gonna take all of that sauce down to the bottom and just layer it on my plate as so. Smush that over a wee bit. So you just want to kind of like almost dip pork belly in that at the end. So it's nice, thick and glossy. I'm just gonna layer up the plate with these slices of pork belly. You don't need too big a plate for this actually, because all of the flavour is gone down into that beautiful sauce. So it's nice and thick and luscious. If you've got anything green in the fridge, if you've got any coriander or if you've got any spring onions, then just pop them on top. I've got some spring onions here, so I'm just gonna kind of lace them over the top. And now I'm just gonna pop on my shallots and peanuts. And again, just coating all of that kind of sticky pork. And it'll stick really well actually, because the sauce is kind of now caramelized. There we go, that is tamarind sticky pork. I hope you guys enjoy it and I'm sure you will love it. So I'm about to show you one of my most favourite dishes of all time. It is the lovely ox cheek rendang. I'm using ox cheeks for this because I feel like they've just got such an amazing depth of flavour. We start off with the curry looking a bit like this, but we're going to cook it in a non-stick pan up until it kind of bronzes almost. The difference between a rendang and a kind of normal curry is that you want the paste to be really thick around that meat. It's got that gorgeous golden colour from turmeric. This part is just for getting that lovely oil to separate from the curry. You'll have it when it's a little bit thicker because it's been in the fridge, and then at this point the sauce is going to loosen a little bit because it's been in contact with heat. Then it's going to thicken right up once all of those juices have come out of the ox cheeks. We'll just leave this to bubble away and do its thing for 10 minutes, come back and it will be absolutely amazing and golden bronzed. As you can see, exactly as we had planned, the sauce has gone from that amazing kind of golden turmeric-y colour. So carefully take these tender bits of ox cheek. Look at that, it's just so amazing, golden and gorgeous. And you can see from the pan, like the oils have separated. That's exactly what you want to happen. Get all of those last little bits in. You don't want to waste any of that, it's so delicious. Now I'm just going to garnish this with a bit of coriander that I had in my fridge, and also some shallots and peanuts that come in your box. Here is some shallots and peanuts just over the top, and now a little bit of fresh coriander at the end. Don't worry if you don't have this, it is not a problem. I just like it for a bit of greenery. And that is our ox cheek rendang. I really hope you enjoy this one, and I'm so excited to introduce it to your kitchens. I really hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to talk to you about the rice. We have coconut rice here, which is for me one of the main staples of Malaysian cooking. This has been cooked with pandan leaf, which is otherwise known as vanilla of the East, and it's just like the most amazing flavour. You're just heating this in the microwave for 3 minutes. It's so easy and it goes perfectly with all of these dishes. So we are going to make some corn fritters, and corn fritters are just so amazing. They're little like golden nuggets of joy, and we're going to make them into a kind of pancake form. So there's some gram flour in here, there's some garlic, lots of sweet corn. I have a non-stick pan. Really important for this because there's quite a lot of flour and stickiness in there. You need to have one that's a really good non-stick pan. So you need to keep this on a kind of medium heat and just turn the heat up and down a little so you get them golden and cooked all the way through. I'm going to take about a tablespoon worth here, drop it straight into the oil as you can see. That a little flattened down. And I'm just going to put about 4 of these into my pan at once top. And then my last one is going in now. Just give them a good centimetre apart. This is like a street food dish. It's supposed to be a bit rustic, kind of haphazard and messy. That is the way with this cuisine. The ones that I put in first, I can feel they're quite easy to move around. As you can see, if you sugar them, these two ready to go and they can be flipped probably first, not quite yet, but first. And the ones that need a bit more time are the ones that are struggling to move because you want the oil to kind of release them almost from sticking to the bottom of the pan. So let's just flip one of these round just to see how we're doing. There we go. And now once you've finished the frying, you just want to pop them onto a tray, just a little bit of kitchen towel, and just let the excess oil just drown off them a little bit so they're not soggy in any way. I am just going to grab my tongs and just take them out one at a time. But how amazing do they look? They look so golden and delicious. And I would say you're probably going to be able to get about 4 each from this, so it's a very good feed. I've had some spring onions in the fridge that I've been needing used up, so I'm just going to layer them on top too. Pop the tamarind chutney on in the fridge just over the top. You don't have to do this. I just quite like it for a bit of colour. If you have anything green that you want to pop on top, just go ahead. And I'm going to use some of the peanut and shallot mix that we've got in the box because we may as well use some of that up. It's good on absolutely everything, so may as well. If you have some of the batter left over, feel free to just pop that back in the fridge, and then if you fry it off in the morning, put a wee fried egg on top. It is absolutely amazing for breakfast. And that is the corn fritters. They're so amazing, and it's a really nice little crunchy bite to have just before everything else. Just treat them like pancakes, flip them over when you're ready, and serve it fresh with the tamarind chutney. When I'm in Malaysia, I always have lots of Kopi, and Kopi just means coffee. And you often have Kopi with condensed milk or evaporated milk, but it's often quite sweet and sugary and amazing, and I just love that flavour. So I've tried to recreate that for this dessert. So we've just got a kind of coffee sponge cake here, condensed milk, coffee syrup too, and we've got some salty peanuts just because you can always have salty and sweet together. I think it's amazing. So we're just going to heat this up in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes and heat this up for about 10 seconds in the microwave, and then pour the sauce over the cake and then enjoy immediately. I've just let this cool down for a couple of seconds. Come out of the oven, 10 to 15 minutes. Give it a little kind of pull away from the edges before you do this. Big grand tip onto the plate. And there we go, a little steamed sponge. It's worked perfectly. Also very satisfying to do that if you want to do that in the house. Now I've also got this sauce which I've just heated up in the microwave for about 10 to 15 seconds. I'm just going to pour some of that over. That's that gorgeous condensed milk and coffee sauce, and it's just so reflective. This is a pudding that reminds me of breakfast. And then last but not least, I'm going to pop over some of these salted peanuts because I just love salty and sweet. I feel like you can't get enough of that balance, and I just think it goes so well with this dessert. So there you go, that is the coffee condensed milk steamed pudding. I hope you enjoy it. Again, it's so easy to get together, but the flavours are absolutely incredible. So this is everything that you're going to have for the second Julie's Kitchen experience, and thank you so much for ordering with us, and I hope you guys enjoy it and see us for the next one.